Hello, hello. How's
Hey
it going?
everybody,
We are back.
we're back. Happy
Welcome,
Tuesday.
welcome.
Welcome. Happy Tuesday.
Yes, yes.
Hey, hey.
Happy November 7th.
Happy November 7th. We weren't on last week. Actually, last week was Halloween.
That ain't why we wasn't on.
That's definitely why we wasn't on.
Had
We
nothing to
was
do with
not
that.
trick or treating.
Hey, how's it going? We wasn't on last week because I was being attacked.
Yeah, my hubby was sick.
Being attacked. The enemy jumped on me, brought his whole army to the hood.
But they can't contend against this. You know, you got a prayer warrior as a wife. And I was taking care of you too. Hey
Of
everybody.
course,
Y'all
baby.
drop who you are and how you doing and all that good stuff. And hey everybody. Let me put a comment in here so I can see how this. Oh, hey
Look at you.
Z.
See?
Hey Z.
Hit the comment.
Let me see. Oh, it did it. We just trying to figure this out, Z. Because you know.
So how's everybody doing?
How's everybody
It's
doing?
been a long time.
Hey, Wanda Briscoe TV. Hey, y'all.
Hey Wanda, how you doing?
Yeah,
Miss Stanfield.
that's Z. That's Zelda. You remember Zelda? You remember Zelda?
Simply me.
Hey, that's simply Mel. Hey,
Simply Mel.
Mel.
Okay, I didn't see the L.
Hey,
Okay.
Mel.
Simply Mel. How's everybody doing? We are excited.
We are excited. If you're new coming on, which y'all not new, but if y'all new coming on, we're Terrence and Jill.
Yes,
We've been
yes.
doing this channel.
For a long time.
You know what? In January, it's going to be, wait a minute, when did we start this? 2021?
When we got engaged.
Yeah, 2021,
Hmm.
2022.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. Hey. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in a
Hey, how's
long
it going?
time.
How's it going?
Hey. Um, uh, yeah, we started this channel in 2021.
Mhm.
Um, and we just come on here, be ourselves, and just sharing our testimony and our
Yeah.
story, and just
Just talking
So
about things we've learned over the years, looking
yeah,
back, things that we talk about sometimes when we have our happy hour and we got a half a bottle of wine in us and we just,
be deep conversation.
deep conversations like, oh my God, we should have said this on the line.
We should have said this. We pros, Z. We pros. Yes. Um, newlyweds. We just made a year in April, but we're going on 2 years. It feel like we've been married for 20 years, but we still ain't qualified to give relationship advice because every day it's like, let me pick up the manual, figure out how to deal with this, and let me see how to deal with that, and so yeah. So
Even you know what? Even people that are married for years, admit that they still go from day to day,
yeah,
and you can just pray that you're with the right person so you can work it out
and go
for
through
for
these
for you
things.
and your house.
Yeah,
What works out for you might not work out for the next person.
right,
You know,
right. But it's worth doing, learning each other and learning and unlearning with the right person, because
true,
I
true.
I I'll still say it and I'll continue to say it, that marriage is the best personal development tool ever.
Yes, I agree.
And I, at the same time, I understand why couples don't make it the first year, because it's a lot of breaking down self and everything that you've learned and gotta learn a new person and gotta unlearn some things and some habits that you were used to. And the older you get, the worse it gets. And
You
so
thought you knew that person.
yes,
But
and that's the
until
other
you
thing.
lived together, you learned that there's a lot of things you didn't know about that person.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of things I don't know about me. Like being married to you, there's a lot of things I don't know. I didn't know about myself. So I say this, that we ain't investing in this no marriage to be no marriage experts. That's not what we do.
No.
That's not us.
No.
We,
You'd be disappointed if you
you be real. Some marriage.
Like,
yeah.
Do you love him?
Right.
Okay.
Then work it out. Go find you a coach. Go find you a therapist, a marriage therapist, because it ain't us. Yeah. So,
do you love her? Go apologize. It don't matter who's right or wrong. Just go apologize.
I don't want to. Do I got to?
Well, it always got to be me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, you don't want to be married then.
Yeah. So, but nonetheless, we still in it together. We God ordained. Yes. Go follow us on our social media platforms. TikTok, Instagram, on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, A God-Ordained Union. We started that group when we started this YouTube back in 2021. Yeah. We're on Threads. I love Threads.
See, I don't even know what Threads is.
Threads is the new version of Twitter, but it's through Instagram. I love Threads. Okay. Threads, and of course YouTube. So, and any other?
We own that might be it.
Okay.
That might be it.
All right, you got a big announcement.
Me?
We having a baby.
Oh, that would be an announcement and a half.
Man.
Yeah. If that right there wasn't that was my announcement. Whew, I'm trying to tell you, we getting paid.
Getting paid. Speaking of that, let me read a text that my father sent me a couple of weeks ago. I'm concerned. I'm really concerned. I'll read you a piece of the text that he wrote me out the blue. Like,
look, I love Pop. Leave Pop alone. Pop is happy in his world. He loves his daughters, and he just loves everything they're doing. It don't even matter what it is. He loves his daughters.
Okay, he sent me a long text, but at the end of the text, this is what he said. He said, "Glory to God. Okay, love you, Jill. I can't wait to get down there so I can eat some of that chicken. Bless you. Oh, I love you so much. Please make me a granddad. Bye."
Leave dad alone now. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm like, do he not realize I'm 53? Like,
he's happy. Let him be happy.
So
he's blissfully happy.
I said that to say that ain't the announcement. That ain't the announcement.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe you went up in there.
So what's our announcement, baby?
Our announcement is that we are officially a singles ministry.
Yes. A God-Ordained Union.
A God-Ordained Union is official.
Is officially a singles ministry.
Yes. Yes, we got a site for y'all to go visit.
Yes, so y'all see it right there, godsprovidence.com. That's our new site.
Yes.
We've been talking about this for a long time. We knew that we were not called to give marital advice or even relationship advice, but what we have mastered, we mastered being single. So we can do that, baby, can't we?
And it's not like a out partying master. It's like a education, understanding the valleys, the peaks, and going through the seasons and
making the best of the seasons and crying in the corner and getting up and making faith moves and positioning. And
we were just talking last night and maybe even the day before that, about things that we're still learning and just discovering about things we went through that we haven't even spoke about a lot, that you guys are going to be seeing in upcoming lives that we have.
Yes. And so we've been single more in our adult years than we've been.
Most definitely.
So our adult years been more single for me. I've only had 2 years of a year and a half of being with someone. So I like to believe that.
And we didn't have a long courtship.
No,
we didn't have a long dating. We didn't get a chance to go out a lot because the pandemic before we got engaged and everything, but we did a lot of talking long distance, and believe it or not, just I fell in love with her before I really even laid eyes on her in person. So that's huge. That's just a testament of how much we spoke on the phone and text and
So the ministry is focusing on conversations, community, and coaching.
Yes.
We're adding more things as the next couple of months. We're working on some things behind the scenes. Terrence got a big project about to come. It's going to be launched in 2014. And so those of you, Wanda, Z, y'all know my expertise in coaching in the business world, the success I've had in that realm, but God has shifted me.
Yes.
And
my baby is
it's really a full circle moment, which we're going to talk about full circle in a few minutes. But it's a really full circle moment, like literally like this week, because in 2008, 15 years ago, I was actually on the phone with my coach, and it was my last session of being certified as a Christian life coach. And I know it was this time of year because we were watching the election in Obama. She lives in Chicago, but we were watching the election. And when they announced that Obama they kept on saying, he won Florida, he won Michigan. We were both cheering. And she was supposed to be giving me my last session. But so it's full circle. So it's this time, 15 years ago, that I earned my Christian life coach certification, and I never really used it. And I always wanted to use it. But those of you who know me know that I went into business coaching. And so I would coach many successful women in business. And so now I'm putting it to coaching single women. And so anything from dating to dating long distance to wondering how to date, how to go to Chili's and enjoy yourself and not have the trip that you going to a 5-star restaurant and all of that good stuff. So everything from dating to getting over a breakup or whatever, what have you, I put my expertise to practice.
So that's going to be the bomb.
I'm excited. So it's all on the website. Also on the website is the prayers that Terrence and I prayed. That's a free download. Subscribe to our list. You'll get that.
Yes, and that's not all of them.
Oh, that's definitely not all of them.
That's nowhere close to all of them.
Yeah, well, we got 20 of them. And one of my favorite ones, let me just give it to you here. Let me tell you what one of the scriptures I leaned on. No good thing will he withhold from you if you walk up right before him. I kept praying that, Lord, you said no good thing will you withhold from me if I walked up right before you. I kept, and I keep saying it. I kept saying it over. That was my like in my core prayer. I kept praying that scripture. So there are 20 scriptures that we prayed, that we collectively prayed individually when we were in the waiting room.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Yeah. So, when you only have 20, there's a lot that didn't make the list, but it doesn't eliminate it from being, so we definitely have several that's not on the list that we still lean on and still.
For different areas of our lives. Yeah, those are the ones we leaned on when we were single. But of course, we got them from health. Like we got, of course, finances. We got our core scriptures that we use, that we pray for finances, our finances,
for guidance.
for guidance,
strength.
for strength. So
Yes.
let me tell you, it's like
For grace.
all of for the relationship, all of that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're excited.
Yeah. So
go to our website.
yeah, check us out.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, put your subscribe to us and get
share,
those 20 scriptures and take them as your own and
post
tailor them to
and
yourself.
tailor them, and if
absolutely.
you got something to share with us in different areas, it's a contact form on there.
Yes,
shoot us a message. And
so if you want to, talk, if you want us to agree with you in prayer about something, just you got places now where you can reach out to us, and it's going to just be between you and us. And yeah,
I'm here for y'all single women. I'm here because there's so many it's either a singles ministry, like I have not seen this, like a singles ministry where there's a couple that's really been in the trenches as a single. It's either a singles ministry is led by singles or it's led by well-established married couples. But nobody that I would have wanted this in my when I was single, this type of ministry when I was single. I wish it was something like that when I was single. But so we here for y'all.
Yeah. And as a man, my father passed when I was little, before I even turned 10 years old. So some of the advice I would have been given by him, I had to learn. So, it would be good it would have been good for me to have someone, because men don't normally confide in other men about relationships unless they're really, really, really close. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we kind of do our thing solo, but it's getting better though. There are groups starting to try to get going, and people starting to try to get out there, because I was just a part of a group of men that met every Saturday, and for probably the first year and a half.
But they were all of them were married.
Yeah, and I don't know. I never asked them if they was married. Because we talked about everything. It was just a safe space for us to converse. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about who was married and who wasn't, because at the time when I first got with that group, I wasn't married.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But it's awesome just to, to have that type of conversation with some folks and feel safe that it ain't going to show up on social media the next day.
Right. Right. So yes, in our private time, it will be confidential and all that great stuff. So,
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we came across a hot topic that resonated with us. So that was our big announcement. We got something else to share. We came across a hot topic this week, and we thought it would be good to bring it here for our live discussion tonight, because it resonated, and I think it's where a lot of people struggle, and it's personal, and so we want to share with y'all. I'm sure y'all heard this floating around social media, but you want to you know
what we talking about?
Okay, so those of you who are 90, people in the 90s, y'all probably remember Nelly and Ashanti.
Oh yeah.
Y'all probably remember them. I wasn't really into them, but because I was into 90s music, 90s hip hop, they came with the package. Of course, I wasn't never a fan. I love Nelly though, because I used to watch his reality show, and I just either one of them, you really never heard any major negative news about the two of them. But I remember when they were dating back in the day, and I thought they were a little cute couple. They're younger than me, but I thought they were a cute couple. And I felt like back then that they're going to be a very, solid, successful couple. And when they broke up, I was like, oh, that's so sad. I was a little disappointed. But now, if you're on social media, you see that they're back together. And so the word on the street is that the reason why they broke up is because at the time they were ready. Ashanti wanted to be married and thought an engagement was coming. But Nelly at the time was married to his career. And that's what he said. And so they both got on public platforms and expressed how they felt. And then when Ashanti found out what Nelly said, it caused her to pull away. And you told me that I found out something that you told me today that I didn't know.
And what that is that she admitted that she let some of her girlfriends get in her ear. And so by them basically getting in her ear, pushing the issue that if he don't care about her the way she need him to, or he would marry her and this and that, that caused her to make that decision to pull away completely. And so the thing is, now that they're back together, have you ever seen a couple that just look like they were meant to be together? And the happy, joyful time that they're having. I mean, they have been posting so much of just, and most of their posts, regardless of the words, it's just been laughter. It's been joy. It's almost like you can see both of them have had a big weight lifted. Like they've been waiting for this all their life to get back together. And it's just a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing, but I'm assuming it had to be about 20 years, almost 20 years since they were together. But can you imagine if God said, he's going to be yours, but just not, this is not the time.
Yes. And that's a big thing for me. I love when I learned that my timing and God's timing were different, and that it wasn't about my timing. It was about God's timing. So the fact that God was still able to orchestrate this and bring them back together after they both matured to a point, and had a chance to prune them, so to speak, for each other and get them ready for this union. It's going to be cool watching this unfold.
Yeah. And then, I remember on his reality show, the girl that he was dating, he just, as much as they were a couple and the girl was living there, he would not marry her. And in the back of his mind, he probably knew, because guys know she ain't the one. Like, my heart is with the one who got away. And I believe that we're going to find our way back to each other. But so that happened to me in 1995. I think I shared this on a post. I'm on a video, but in 1995, I was 25. I was just laid off from my job, and I was at a crossroads, and a family friend who had just relocated here to Charlotte told me, you need to check out Charlotte. And so, being 25, still living at home, being lost and confused, 25-year-old, because at 25, I wasn't the type of person that said, I got to get married right now. Like, I knew in my 20s, I was still a little girl. Like, I knew that I was immature and that I didn't know what I wanted to do out of life. Even though I was always intelligent, I was just like, the marriage was just not it. But she called and she said, my neighbor, this is what our family friend said. She said, my neighbor works at a company and they're looking for an office manager. And would you be interested, since you are considering moving down, would you be interested in taking the position? I knew nothing about Charlotte. I said, yeah, I'll come down. I drove down here and they hired me right away. And so I came, 25 years old. I came down. It was in the summer of 1995. By the fall of 1995, the office had an inside robbery. It was an inside job, and the person stole all the computers. And because it was such a hard hit, we had a small office. It was no more than 20 of us. Because it was such a hard hit and a hard loss for the company, the headquarters, which was based in Atlanta, decided that they were going to close down the Charlotte location, and they had offered me to move to Atlanta. And I was like, well, I definitely ain't going to Atlanta. Like, it's a stretch being 7 hours away from my family. Like, I'm not going to Atlanta. And so for about 2 months after that office closed, I was looking for a job in Charlotte, and I was temping, and I couldn't land a full-time job. And I never forget, it was around this time because I was leaving to go home for Thanksgiving. It was around this time, and I had to face the reality that this place that I had come to love, that I would have to go home. And so I went home, and when I returned back from Thanksgiving holiday, I had to pack up all of my stuff. I was staying with the family friend, and the plan was that I was just about to move into my own apartment. But because I lost the job, I had to put everything on hold. I had bought all of this stuff and put it in storage down here. I had all of this stuff that I had planned for my apartment. And so I had to face the reality that I would have to move back home. On the way home, so my parents, my sisters, they came down to Charlotte to move me back. When I tell y'all, I felt like, of course I didn't know him, but when I felt like I was leaving something in Charlotte, I can't even describe the feeling that I felt. Like I'm about to cry thinking about it. I felt like my heart, I was literally leaving my heart. It was something in Charlotte that I knew I was supposed to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. You could not tell me otherwise, but I faced what I had to face. And in my heart of hearts, I felt like there was something I had to go back to DC for, and I had to finish some unfinished business. When I was leaving Charlotte in 1995, what were you doing?
My kids was about to be born. They were born this month. My twins were born actually next week.
Yep. So we were both in transition.
Mm-hmm.
The street that I lived on down here led right into his home.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing. So I went home, and for 25 years, God did all kinds of things in me. Of course, I ended up finishing school. I got my master's. I started my business. I bought my home. Just a whole bunch of accomplishments. And 25 years later, mm-hmm. I got the offer to come back down here to North Carolina, to Raleigh. And, the rest is history. Y'all know that story. I ended up getting online on a dating site, and Terrence lived in Charlotte, and it brought me back to Charlotte. Mm-hmm. And when I say that to say, when things come full circle, like sometimes we want something at that time, but it's not. It's like, though the vision tarry, wait. Like God will show you,
give you a snippet.
He'll give you a snippet
of what he got, but the timing isn't right for you yet.
The timing is just not right yet.
And then we have to give into an understanding out of our own. I can't even say give into him, because you still mm-hmm. don't understand why something that you might want, that might be right outside your grasp, but you just can't grab hold to it. And it might just be that God's timing isn't right now for you yet. He's still working things out. He's still mixing the ingredients in that bowl and making it to mm-hmm. where it's going to work out for mm-hmm. everything that he needed to work out for.
So it gets a little eerie. So between the time of, y'all know the story, between the time when I initially contacted Terrence in his DM and got shut all the way down, and it hurt my little pride.
So don't let that go, y'all. Pray
And
for brother.
between that time and the time where he came into my DM, it was a period of an impossible situation. Dude ain't interested. It ain't gonna happen. Get over it. I was living in Raleigh, hanging out with my girl Z, living in Raleigh, living our best life at the CIAA, having a ball, having fun, and praising God at the same time. My girl Z. Between that time, I was living in Raleigh, and my cousin Deidre lives here in Charlotte. She was having an event. Now, I wasn't thinking nothing about Charlotte. Now, I knew where Terrence on his profile said where he lived, but it just did not. I just thought, it's going to be what it's going to be. Even though I felt a spiritual connection, I released it. My cousin Deidre was having can y'all hear us? Because the sound just went on. Can y'all hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us.
But that just came on.
It just means the volume is going there now.
Okay. My cousin Deidre lives here in Charlotte. She was having an event. And it was her first event for her business. And I said, Deidre, so I contacted Terrence in January. He didn't contact me again until November. This was May. Deidre said she was having her event. I said, okay, little cousin, I'm going to come down to Charlotte. I'm going to drive down to Charlotte. I'm going to help you out for your event. Got up one Saturday morning. I was driving to Charlotte. The directions that she gave me where the event was going to be held, the closer I got to, I was on 45. I had gotten off of 85 and was merging onto 45. And I was driving down the road. The first sign that I saw was the word Providence. That's the name of a street. I had been studying the word Providence with Tony Evans for months at this time. Y'all know what Providence is. Sometimes people call it serendipity or fate, is when God orders your steps, like how he did with Esther in the book of Esther. God orders your steps. So the first thing I saw was the exit that said Providence. And I tensed up. First of all, when I was seeing the signs that said Charlotte, it was something came over me. I hadn't been to Charlotte. I don't think I had been to Charlotte much since I had left. But it was something that came over me when I got to Charlotte. Anyway, that was the first sign I saw. I was riding down, following the directions to where the event was going to be. Then I saw Albemarle. That welled up tears in my eyes because that was that's where Terrence's profile said he lived. That was also the street the exit where I lived when I lived in Charlotte. So I started really tearing up. And so by the time I got to Deidre, she was getting her makeup done. I didn't know nobody else but Deidre. And I came in and I was just full of tears. And I told Deidre, she was like, what is wrong? What is going on? What is wrong? I said, I can't explain it. I was like, I said, I can't shake this thing. I can't explain it. I said, I'll talk to you after. I said, I just can't explain what I'm feeling. And so we got into a corner. She was getting ready, whatever. And I said, and I had never told any, aside from my best friend and my sister, nobody had, in Deasia, my niece, nobody had known about Terrence. I told Deidre, I said, it's this guy. I said, I don't even know why I'm telling you this as my little cousin. But I told her, I said, it's this guy. And I said, I can't shake him. It's the weirdest weirdest feeling. And so at that point, I knew that I was going to be back in Charlotte. I just knew it was going to happen. I just knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And that was May. And in November, Terrence came into my DM. And so at that point, a busybody would have reached back out to Terrence. Not me. That ain't what she does. Not me. Because I knew if it was supposed to be, God was doing something. And at that point, I knew not to put my hands in it. Just let God orchestrate it.
Y'all hear all that?
So
Y'all see all these years that God was orchestrating and moving things and realigning things. And at the same token, there's other things that was going on in my life that he was taking me through, but at the same time, teaching me things that I needed to understand and learn so I would be ready when his timing was there for us to actually meet.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
When God shows you something, it is for you to press in to him, because we can mess it up. Somebody said something to me a few weeks ago that, and I hear this all the time. They say, if it's for you, it's going to happen. If it's for you, it's going to come to pass. God can have something for you, and the enemy is on his P's and Q's to block it from you. And this is the thing. The reality is that we don't live forever. So if he can get you to the point where so many people, God has something or somebody for so many people, and they never get it. They never get it. That's the sad reality. Their time runs out before it can manifest. And so the enemy's job is to beat you, is to wear you out that you will miss it. And so when it comes to something like love and relationships and soul and your mate, you're a threat. That's the biggest thing that he's going to stop. Stopping a business, stopping you from building a business, that's easy potatoes. Stopping you from getting your dream job, that's easy. That ain't a threat to him. It's stopping who God has for you.
Understand that God brings up family and the relationship between a husband and a wife at the very beginning of the Bible.
In the beginning.
That's how important.
We're not meant to live alone.
That's how
we're not meant to be alone.
Is when God created marriage, the entity, he brought that out at the very beginning of the Bible. So the rest of the Bible is really helping us understand how important that is.
And what his will, what he established.
And so
we have to replenish the earth. Two people got to replenish the earth and take care of it.
So the fact that you all are wanting to meet your soulmates and it hasn't happened yet, just understand this is not a natural thing. This is so spiritual,
so supernatural
that the enemy it's a full-time gig for him to focus on breaking and preventing that from happening. So it's not being taken lightly by him. So we have to understand how big this is, and the fact that you all have made it known that you have a desire to be married. The enemy is on full alert of trying to prevent that from happening.
And one of the biggest ways he comes, he sends a counterfeit that pretends like he's the one or she's the one.
So that's why I always and y'all know we're going to talk about the Bible anyway, but that's why that the best advice I could share with people of what helped me was when I became strong enough and wise enough to say, you know what, God, I'm releasing this to you.
And that's when I said, Lord, I'm releasing it to you. I couldn't do it in my own strength. I would have messed it up. I would have delayed it and probably missed it if I did everything that I did with Terrence. I did not do with nobody else.
Well, and yeah.
And I with Terrence, I just basically let it go. Let me tell y'all something was so funny, because the guy, well, two guys before Terrence who I thought I was going to marry, everybody was in my ear. You lost him because you didn't sleep with him, because you gave him a rule, because you gave him, men ain't like that no more. Like, and that message was being pushed from social media to some of the friends in my circle. You shouldn't have put that strain on him, that rule on him. So the guy after him, I tried to do things differently. Both of them I lost. Neither one of them I got. So when this guy came, I knew it wasn't about no rules. It was totally about, he was leading this. I had to totally release it. Everything else I was trying to force myself. I was trying to navigate and do things myself.
And with me, I felt like, you know what? I've met other women, and it just wasn't working. But I had my mind made up that I wasn't going to settle and reduce what I really wanted. So, and I stayed, and I mean, I had some serious conversations with God, and the whole time it was just me learning how to not only surrender to him, but surrender completely. And it was funny because I told Jill one time, I said, it was funny because, there was a time when I trusted God in this area of my life, but in this area, I didn't, or I didn't know that I didn't, until I realized that, it's almost like when you catch yourself giving yourself advice that you normally would give a friend, and you sitting there like, I know better. Why didn't I just give it to him and get out of the way? And then when I got my first interpretation of what it felt like to be put to sleep. Mm-hmm. And it was after I released it and gave everything to him. I had the best year I've ever had in my job, in my work, in my home. I mean, I had that whole year that she and I were on the phone talking every day when I got off work and every day when she got off work. That was like the most peaceful year I've had in my life when it comes to, I wasn't worried about nothing, worried about bills, didn't worry about the hours I was working at work. And the whole time I was being rewarded throughout the year for different things at my job. And I was like, they done gave me this. They done gave me that. Jill, guess what? They gave me this, last night at work. And it's just like, what in the world are you doing at work? Mm-hmm. But it was because God was just orchestrating everything.
And I realized that when I first contacted you, when I DM'd you, you were at a place of like, what this woman want? It's basically like what God did to Adam. Adam was asleep and he didn't know he needed a mate. He didn't ask for a mate. And I came knocking at your door and, and you was basically like, hi, I'm good.
You know what? You just brought up something too, that's a point I've been wanting to make, that I hope I did in the past of one of the earlier videos, but I'm going to do it now since you just brought that up. Understand that everybody's on their own timing. Everybody's on their own journey, and God is going to bring it together in his way. So if you reach out to someone because you saw him before he saw you, and he don't respond immediately, it don't mean that he ghosts you. Because at that point, you got to remember, he still never saw you before. So he don't even have time for you in his head because he don't know you exist. You know what I'm saying? He may be praying for you. He may be praying for his soulmate, and you may be that soulmate, but he don't know who you are physically yet. He's never saw what you look like. So when she said I ghost her, you got to remember, I saw her message, but I never seen her before. We never spoken, none of that. So in my mind, I'm still going to work every day. I'm still living, you know what I mean? So yeah, so don't think that sometimes when you reach out to a person, they supposed to respond to you immediately,
or respond how you want them to,
how you want them to, or how you think they should, because they're not on your time. God still has them on a different time frame. So when y'all first meet in passing, it might not be that love at first sight thing.
You might not, and we were talking about that earlier today. You could literally be catching the bus or the train to work every single day, and the guy, or if it's a man, the woman could be getting on at your same stop every single day. Y'all see each other, but y'all don't see each other because you're blinded. You're for whatever reason you're blinded.
God hadn't opened your eyes to who each other are yet.
Yeah.
He's still orchestrating. You guys could have already met the person and just not know that he's the one. And so you're still looking and searching. And then you find out so many years later, or so many months later, or whatever that time is, and then y'all meet. And then as you start to speak to each other, talk about your past and when you grew up and all of this, then you realize, wait a minute.
What?
Hold up. I went to that same party. No, I know that. I know them. What do you mean you was there? Who was you with? And find out y'all was in the same building or at the same club or at the same apartment or show or football game or whatever it is, and just didn't know each other at the time.
You just was blinded to each other. And so that's the prayer, that God will open your eyes, open his eyes, that you will be at the right place at the right time,
with the right people,
with the right people for the right reasons, according to his perfect will. Because that's the other thing. The enemy, he will cause a disruption, say at work, and you gotta go home and get on the train, and you so frustrated by something that happened on the job that you want to just close your eyes literally and take a nap while you're on the train, and your husband sits right beside you and you never know it, or don't want to be bothered
until God revealed them to you.
And the enemy's on his job.
Like Wanda said, let God be God.
Yes, let God be God. And the enemy is on his job. Oh, I got her now. She got her eyes closed. Oh, I got her now. She's doing such and such. Oh, I got her now. She don't feel like going to the New Year celebration that she was invited to. Oh, I got her now. She'd rather stay in the house by herself. Oh, I got her now. You just never know how God is ordering your steps, how he's navigating you.
Yep. Even when you're out on the highway and something come up and there's a delay, thank him for the delay.
Thank him.
Because you don't know what he's causing you to miss or to be in position for.
Right. Later. Yep. Yeah, and that's one of the things we have learned. Like if there's traffic or if there's a delay,
we thank him.
We thank him. Yeah. We thank him because there's somebody that's that we about to, or a situation that we know we're going to have an encounter with. When I tell you the word providence, go studies. I've said this many times. Of course, I said it with my coaching clients in the Savvy Servant many times. But I'm telling you, go look up on YouTube Tony Evans' series on providence. You're going to be amazed at how God is ordering and orchestrating your steps to get his perfect will for you. And his will is for you to be married. His will is for you to have a prosperous relationship.
Yes.
He ordains it. So,
yes.
So we're excited.
We are very excited.
Yes.
We are very excited.
I'm excited to be just reaching out and helping somebody, get through what I've been through and to get where I am. Like I need more married friends. I'm telling y'all, I need more couple friends. And so yeah, I'm gonna help y'all God and help y'all get there. Because a sister knows how to be single. I knew how to be single. So thank you, Wanda. Congratulations to you too. I heard your good news. Or at least I saw it on social media.
Social media just be putting everybody's business out there.
So yeah, and I'm happy for Ashanti and Nelly. Like you could just see. Do you know what sometimes, I used to, let me tell y'all something. I used to hate this gift that I have. Like I could literally look at I could go to a wedding and I could tell you if the couple was going to make it or not. And I hated that gift. And so I stopped going to weddings that I didn't feel like. I definitely ain't going. What I know from early adulthood, don't go after no bride's bouquet. Be careful. And so I knew that from early on. And I remember the first 2 bouquets that I caught ever in my life, 2 wedding bouquets. Oh, thank you, Z. 2 wedding bouquets I caught in my life. One was my cousin Kim, who lives down here in Columbia, Maryland, Columbia, South Carolina. My cousin Kim and her husband Steve. That was in 1990. Shout out to them. They're going strong. They've been married for years and years and years. So I was happy to catch that bouquet. And then I caught another bouquet. Aldine and Juliet, they're now ministers of the gospel in Texas. And they I caught their bouquet in I believe it's like 1994. So yeah, I was very strategic on and very careful on like I take marriage very seriously. I take the union of marriage very, very, very seriously. So I'm excited to be pouring into singles, into single women. I'm very excited to be doing that.
That's what's up.
Yes.
But it's just the great thing about this to me is we're not telling people what to do. We're just sharing what God has revealed to us as learning points and what those things meant when we went through them. We didn't know what we were doing, but looking back, we can reflect on it and be able to learn from it because we have graduated from that.
Yes.
And it's easy for us to sit here and say, oh, yeah, we went through that. And that's what this meant. But I promise y'all, we didn't know that when we
didn't know when we were going through it.
So we're just reflecting, almost like we're looking at a movie of ourselves.
Or like we're Harriet Tubman or something. Yeah. Like we're going back to go get,
So we're just sharing how God has revealed these lessons to us after the fact. Because the one thing she and I like to do is reflect. We will sit back and talk about when we went through something and what that meant, what we were doing, what was our routine back then. And we talk about stuff like that all the time. So to be able to share those things with you all and y'all find them useful, that is amazing to us.
Yes, yes.
So we thank y'all for trusting us enough to be willing to hear our stories and our experiences.
And for the last 3 years and listen to us and pour into us as we're pouring into you and tuning in and all that great stuff. So yeah.
So we're opening up.
Yes.
We're about to have a blast. We've already been having some fun. Now we finna turn the music up.
Yes, it's like it's almost scary. I got my first speaking engagement for 2024. I was like, I saw the text and I was like, should I do this? And then by faith, I said, I'm honored. I will be honored to do it. So to God be glory.
Yes. It's all to bring glory to God.
Mm-hmm. So
with that said,
go to our website, peruse through it. We got some more stuff we're adding to it, of course. We got a whole bunch of stuff we're working
Mhm.
behind the scenes.
More announcements just coming
More
in the future.
announcements.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm even coaching my husband on a project. You don't like that, do you?
She loves trying to tell me what to do.
Coaching my husband on a project. I'm coaching my husband on a project. So.
See, that's a whole nother lesson.
I had to tell him I was placed in your life to be your helpmeet. God did this.
She take that helpmeet to the hilt. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm here to just help you. I'm here to help you.
Oh yeah.
I'm here to help you.
We talk about that all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not my mother. So, but yeah, I'm here to help y'all too, and y'all help me too. So,
yeah. So
thank y'all for riding with us for almost 3 years. And
yes. Put your seatbelt on.
Yeah.
Because we collectively, we're all.
Yes, I'm looking forward to some weddings.
We're going to change the world. We're bringing the marriage back. We're bringing family back. That is the secret to us doing what God has for us to do, is that we have to do it as a family.
Yes. I'm looking forward to me too, Wanda. I love Ashanti and Nelly together. I love them together. And I can see the genuineness. Like,
I just love when people are happy.
Me too.
And they look like they're happy.
And it's not forced.
It's not forced. It's just happy for no reason.
They're
almost.
Gleeful.
Yes.
Yeah, they're definitely like I've seen it before, but yeah, like they are definitely meant to be. Mm-hmm. You know how like what's that couple Kadeen and what's the guy name?
Yeah.
You know the little couple that got all the little cute little boys.
Oh, the light-skinned dude.
Yeah, Kadeen and I forgot his name. But yes, like they belong together.
Yeah.
Like you could just.
And you know what? And what's great about them is that they talk. They can just be in an argument, and then they go live.
Yeah.
And you see this unveil right in front of the world, and then watch them talk through it. And it's like, look at them two.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can just tell they were really, really made for each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know who the other couple I love? Let me tell you my favorite basketball player. My very favorite, Grant Hill. Z, was it you when we saw Grant Hill in Durham in a restaurant? It was I don't remember who it was, but we were in BU at BU Cafe. We was at BU Cafe, and Grant Hill and Tamia came into the restaurant, and she was not pleasant, and he was such a nice guy. But even still, like you could just tell they belong together. Like they just belong together. But yes, I love Grant Hill and Tamia. So yeah.
That's okay.
But I love us. So that's it for us.
Yeah, so again, thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Yes.
We pray this has been a blessing to you. You have been a blessing to us.
Go to our website.
And we hope that you enjoy the remainder of your evening.
You see it here, godsprovidence.com.
Yes.
It's officially a singles ministry.
Let the guys know they can get on.
They can get on
because we got some stuff for them.
Yeah. My husband got some stuff to tell them, man.
Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So that's it. Oh, you don't think so? Oh, yeah, because he's didn't he go to Duke?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he went to Duke.
He did.
And he was actually coming from a Duke event. It might have been Duke. Yeah, it was something. He was coming from Duke. He was in town for a Duke event. Mm-hmm. So, wow. But yeah. All right, y'all.
Hey, well, y'all be blessed.
Yep. Deuces.